Mike Taylor Live is presented by Texas Cheer Liquor. And now, live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
We got to get cooler on this show. Yes. We got to get cooler as I have my Chuck Schumer glasses on. LG and I were just discussing how we don't keep up with things the way we once did because we're getting older. Well, you keep up with different things. It's not that you don't keep up with things. You know, like 20 years ago, I could tell you, like if I saw a list of the best 20 songs of the year according to Rolling Stone or Pitchfork or one of these spins or whatever, these music magazines or whatever, I probably knew all of them. But while fast forward to now, being 49 years old, I can tell you about the day's doings in the Gaza Strip, or I might be able to tell you about the GOP debate last night.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Rolling through best songs of the year, like on the Rolling Stone list, like I was looking through it just now. Because a lot of times around this time of the year, I will, because I don't catch a lot of new music. And frankly, don't like a lot of new music. But I don't want to be that jackass who says, oh, music today sucks, but I've never heard any of it. So I try to listen to some of the stuff, you know, and the older I get, the less and less I've heard of on, and not just Rolling Stone, but like even the New York Times is top 20 songs of the year.
I couldn't name one song that came out this year. Wow.
Or like Pitchfork will come out with the 50 best albums of the year. And I'll go through the list and try to listen to a few, you know, and try to, because I don't want to be unfair. So here are the 20 best songs of the year according to Rolling Stone magazine, which I have not subscribed to in years because Rolling Stone sucks now.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And part of the articles are shit, and I'm getting older. And the music that I listen to, I hear new tunes on occasion, but none of them are tunes that will show up on a top 20 list on RollingStone.com, you know?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right, let's roll through some of these. Here's the 20th best tune according to Rolling Stone. Padam Padam by Kylie Minogue. Yep. She's from Australia. I do know that. She was big in the early 2000s.
What does that mean?
Padam Padam. I think it's the sound of a heartbeat. Padam Padam.
Okay. Like barum barum.
Number 19, Is It Over Now? Taylor Swift. I mean, obviously heard of Taylor Swift because I can't get away from her. 18, a song called Red Wine Supernova by something called Chappelle Roan.
No.
All right, stop me when you've heard of one. 17, a tune called Unavailable by DeVito featuring Musa Keys and Lotto.
No.
Number 16, Kill Bill remix by Doja Cat and SZA.
Kill Bill remix?
Mm-hmm.
Did they take something from Tarantino's movie?
I guess. I've heard of SZA and Doja Cat.
Yeah, I know Doja Cat. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a fan. I like Doja Cat.
All right. And I've heard, if you played me a tune or two, I might have heard of it.
Isn't she like weird though? Like actually think she's a cat or something like that?
I don't know, dude. We're talking about pop stars.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they do what they have to do to get attention. Number 15, a song called Put It On Da Floor Again by Lotto featuring Cardi B.
I imagine this is like a club banger where yeah. Or no, yeah. Booty
EDM,
shaking song.
Yeah. Lotto. Who's the hell's Lotto? Maybe I need to check out whatever Lotto is. Number 14, I Got Heaven by a band called Mannequin Pussy.
What?
That's what. It's 3 white chicks and a big fat black dude. I'm looking at the picture. A song called I Got Heaven by Mannequin Pussy. Which, if you do have one of those P words, you do have heaven. Just saying.
But it's a mannequin. It's like
Right.
I did like that movie though from the 80s.
Number
With
13.
Kim, what's her name from Sex and the City as the
Right.
mannequin.
Number 13 is Not Strong Enough by Boy Genius.
I've heard of this guy. I've never heard any of his tunes though.
No, that's a band, dude. It's 3 girls.
Well, whatever. I've heard the name.
Number 12, Flowers by the great Miley Cyrus. I've heard Flowers. I think it's ass. I hate that song. It's terrible. I like her. I don't like that song. 11 is Then and Now, the song 50 years in the making by the Beatles, of course. So we'll get through this real quickly. All right, here are the top 10 songs according to Rolling Stone of the year. On My Mama by Victoria Monet. Slow jam R&B singer, I'm guessing.
Nothing.
Number 9, What I Was Made For by Billie Eilish. I know Billie because my kids love Billie Eilish. This tune was on, I think it was in the Barbie movie, which I did not see and will not see. Number 8 is Strike by Lil Yachty. That's a rapper. I'm assuming he's a rapper. He's got a big old set of teeth on him.
If you have Lil,
Yeah.
you got to be a rapper.
I doubt he's
right?
a country singer, although Lil Nas X was a country singer.
Yeah, but he's a rapper too.
Number 7 is something called Get Him Back by Olivia Rodrigo. She's Mexican. She's big with the white kids. Number 6 is a song called Super Shy by the Korean girl band New Jeans. I've got no time for the Korean boy and girl band scene. None.
Dude,
it's awful.
They rolled out some Korean boy band during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. And I was like,
They don't look like real humans.
Oh yeah, I was like, what the hell is this?
They've become massive all over the world. These Korean kids.
Dude, BTS is like
Oh my
insane.
God. BTS could go to the mic and go, and Rolling Stone will make it the 15th best tune of the year. All right, top 5 songs according to Rolling Stone of 2023. Something called Bizarre Music Sessions Volume 53 by Shakira and the Argentinian music maker Bizarrap.
Okay.
I've actually heard of Bizarrap.
I've never heard of it, but she needs money.
Strangely, I've gotten into South American hip-hop. Don't ask why, but I have in the last few years.
Well, it's probably better than American hip hop.
Oh, it's great. Like that, like Bizarrap, that J Balvin. I'm a fan of his. I don't love Bad Bunny as much as all the kids do. I know he's
They got some really cool rhythms to their beats
sure
over there too.
I love Afro Caribbean beats, and I like South American like salsa beats, but like with a hip hop team,
Have you ever listened to like India style hip hop?
like from India.
Yeah.
No,
They got this genre called Bhangra, which is pretty kick ass.
hip hop with a bunch of like la 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 and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
kinda like that, yeah.
Indian singers always have real high voices. The women do. I have to talk about that with Mr. Singh and get his take on that. All right, number 4. A song called I Remember Everything with Zach Bryan featuring East Texan Casey Musgraves. I need to listen to that. I've not heard that. It's probably cool. I like Casey Musgraves. Number 3 is a song I've actually heard. American Horror by Lana Del Rey. Have you heard this tune?
No.
You know who? You know,
Yeah, I know.
You've heard Lana
Yeah,
Del Rey.
yes.
It's very slow, real marble mouthy and spacey. It's not my kind of music, but I've heard the tune because my kids love Lana Del Rey.
What's the title
It's
of that
fine.
tune?
American Whore.
We love you long time.
Yeah, I don't think she's American. Number 2 is something called Boys a Liar Part 2 by Pink Pantheress featuring Ice Spice. English chicks, English hip-hop singers.
Is that Spice from Spice? Is there an Ice Spice?
No,
is it an offshoot of the Spice Girls?
Maybe it's her daughter. She looks like she's Gen Z.
Oh, okay.
And the number 1 song, according to Rolling Stone this year in 2023, is something called Ella Baila Sola by Eslabón Armado y Peso Pluma.
We both pressed it there.
A Mexican song is number 1.
Is it Mexican? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
no, it's real
Okay,
Mexican.
all right.
It's not one of these fake Mexicans from Argentina like Manu. It's a real Mexican song. Peso Pluma, I think he played in San Antonio not long ago, if my memory serves well. Yeah, Mexican scene. How about that? That's where the music is now, where a Mexican tune's the best song of the year, according to Rolling Stone. I'm going to listen to some of these. Anyway, I mean, I've heard one of those songs only because my kid likes Lana Del Rey, and I happened to catch it while she was listening.
Like I said, I've heard none of those.
Either I'm less cool. I am less cool, but it's a different. Cool gets compartmentalized as you get older. Like I'm cool, but in a different kind of way than I used to be cool. I'm not kid cool. I'm middle-aged man cool. There's a such thing, right? Or am I just total nerd? I don't.
Well, I think you always view yourself as cool, but
I hope to be
other
cool.
people
I
don't.
think I'm cool. All right, you boys jump in here with the chat if you got things. We got to get through the news cycle. Sorry, I didn't mean to I got distracted by that this morning because I was flipping through the news cycle and seeing all these different lists, best movies and songs and records and all this kind of thing. I was going through some of the finer moments of the news cycle this year. But here we are. It's Taylor. It is Fart Drop Thursday. And man, Robbie Gould is retiring. The great Robbie Gould. Y'all know who Robbie Gould is, right? You know why he's a big player on our show. Robbie Gould, the longtime kicker, has announced today that he's retiring. This is the same guy that I had that nightmare about. Do you remember the Robbie Gould story?
Is this where you like hooked up with your mom or something
Yeah,
like that?
hooked
Okay,
up with my mom. Yeah, I had a dream one time that my mom was banging Robbie Gould. And then 2 weeks later, my dad got into a real bad car wreck.
2 weeks.
2 weeks later, my dad got into a real bad car wreck. And it was a guy had smashed into the back of my dad's car, flipped my dad's car over, scared the shit out of everybody. My dad and his mother-in-law, my stepmom's mom, was with him. He was driving her to work. And some asshole came flying up and didn't see him, probably on the phone or something, and hit the back of my dad and flipped my dad's car over with a big-ass truck. They were fine, thank God. Turns out the truck that hit my dad's car was stolen by some Mexicano. Peso Pluma hit my dad. So, turns out the car was stolen. They tracked down the owner of the car that was stolen. The owner's last name was Gould. Jould. How crazy is that? 2 weeks prior to that, and my parents they haven't been together since 1979. I have a dream that Robbie Gould's banging my mom. 2 weeks later, my father gets hit by a stolen car and the owner of the car had the last name Gould. And it's not like that's a real common last name, and like a Smith or Johnson. Gould, and it was spelled the same.
Inconceivable.
Robbie Gould, Gould, G-O-U-L-D. So Godspeed to the great Robbie Gould, who announced his retiring today. All right, come out and meet me. I'm going to be out on the south side today. We're going to be ringing our red kettle. Me and Ernie Zuniga. Apparently, Clito Rodriguez is eaten up with sickness, and he cannot come. I don't think it's the Rona. It better not be, because I just did a show with that guy. Cleto ain't gonna make it today, but me and Ernie are at 12:30 today. Ernie Zuniga and I are going to be standing out front of the Super Walmarts at Brooks City Base on southeast military. I get that right. The Walmart Brooks City Base location from 12:30 to 2:30. Weather should be beautiful. We're going to be out there with a kettle, so come put money in the kettle and give it to the Salvation Army. So a full 2 hours, come hang out front of the Wally World. I've been to this Walmart a couple of times. I've actually rung the bell. I rang the bell out there a few years ago with the dude that was in that movie about the female cartel leader. What was the name of that song? And then that movie, that television series.
Is it about El Chapo's wife?
No, she got famous on her own. She was a fictional character. The hell was that movie called? I keep saying movie, that television series. Queen of the South. That's what it was. There was a series that ran for 4 or 5 years. It's pretty popular on, I want to say Bravo or something. I don't remember. But it was a story of a woman cartel champion. And one of her nemesis turned partners was in that movie, and he was with me at the Walmart 3 years ago, ringing the bell. And today it is the opposite of a cartel leader. It is me and Ernie Zuniga. We'll be out there today with our red kettle. So get your booty over there on the south side. A lot of you boys that live on the south side always lament that I never get out there. Well, we coming today. South side, baby. 12:30 to 2:30, Brook City-based Walmart. We'll be out there ringing the bell.
These are our kids.
And it's all going to go to the Salvation Army. It's all going to go into our red kettles. Come out there and help us out today. Okay, let's get into football talk. Who gives a shit what Micah Parsons says on his podcast? Wake up this morning, and once again, Micah Parsons has hacked people off because of things he has said. Not jerked them off, hacked them off. Over things he has said on his podcast. Have we not gotten used to Micah Parsons by now raising a stink storm on his podcast? I mean, he does it once a week, and every week he likes to give his take on the NFL, and he's no different than me or Screamin' A. Smith or anybody else giving their take on the NFL. He does not hold back. He gives opinions. He's been doing it for a year. Well, he said something yesterday along the lines of, and we're not going to play because I don't think it was that big a deal. Because maybe I've just gotten used to Micah Parsons giving his opinions about players. You know, it's something that you probably shouldn't do. I don't recommend giving everybody bulletin board material, but he don't give a shit. Yesterday, he basically said anybody can throw passes to Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill's so good. Micah even said he could throw passes to Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill just, all you got to do is find him in the flat, throw a little screen pass to Tyreek Hill, and he's going to take it to the house. And people are taking that as a shot to Tua Tagovailoa, the hellscape zone Tua. I don't think Parsons meant to throw Tua under the bus. But, you know, the Dolphins will see that and use it as fodder because these teams all do what they can for motivation. Dolphins will be in here in a couple of weeks, and they may very well beat the shit out of the Cowboys because the Dolphins are good. But, you know, that's going to wind up on the bulletin board. So Micah's like, man, anybody can throw passes to Tyreek Hill. And then people are acting like he threw Brock Purdy under the bus, the 49ers quarterback, because he said that anybody can throw passes to Christian McCaffrey. Just give the ball to Chris McCaffrey and get out of the way because he's so good. He was trying to praise McCaffrey and praise Tyreek Hill, and it comes off as Brock Purdy ain't that great. Brock Purdy might be the MVP. Y'all want to get all about all this Dak Prescott MVP talk, and maybe he wins it, but Purdy's got to be in the decision. Tua is not going to be in the MVP decision, I don't think. He probably should be in the top 20. Tyreek Hill's probably going to be in the top 10. So it's what Micah Parsons does, man. I'm used to Micah Parsons giving opinions about the NFL on his podcast. I don't love it, but he's been doing it for weeks and months. And it's to the point where no one cares anymore. I mean, this kid talks so much, he can't be taken serious anymore. Last week, he ripped the Jets over, and he talks about stuff that don't even have anything to do with the Cowboys. Like Aaron Rodgers, you know, he'd criticized the Jets this week for letting a bunch of stuff get out in the media as it pertains to Zach Wilson. And last week, Micah threw the Jets under the bus because he feels like they've treated Zach Wilson unfairly, letting shit get out. Micah Parsons has slammed the Cleveland Browns. You know, it's weird seeing guys with podcasts, but it's a free world. They can go get on them. The Cowboys can't make him not. They can't tell him don't do a podcast. Although I'd love to see like Jeremy Sohan trying to do a podcast where he's throwing guys all over the NBA under the bus and criticizing franchises. I bet Pop would take care of that. Although Pop hadn't shown any discipline this year, so maybe he wouldn't give a shit. But I just couldn't imagine like a Spur doing a weekly podcast and criticizing the Warriors or criticizing the Knicks. Although Draymond Green does one up at Golden State. It is weird to see ball players that have podcasts in this world. However, It's a free country, and they're allowed to do it. And as long as they just go get sacks, just rush Jalen Hurts Sunday night. Give me 2 or 3 sacks. Parsons has not had near the statistical season this year that he's used to having. And a lot of it is because he gets double and triple teamed all the time, and I get that. That's cool. Do your podcast, give your opinions on football. But Sunday night, I'm going to need a couple of sacks or at least 3 or 4 pressures. Do your job, and I don't give a shit what you say. As long as he's out there disrupting games, Micah Parsons can say whatever he wants. It's not going to make him play any less. Is it going to motivate his opposition? I don't know. I think a lot of that's overrated too. These are professional ball players that are getting paid tons of money. If you have to get pissed off over a silly line on a podcast to get you jazzed for a game, then maybe you're not as good as we all thought you were. That being said, I still would make Micah Parsons earn whatever monster contract the Cowboys are about to give him. I would make him earn it still. I'm not ready to give Parsons some ridiculous contract. There's some sort of given that the Cowboys have no choice but to give Micah Parsons a monstrous contract. I have been arguing this for a year. They ain't got to pay nobody. We talk about the NFL. It's a mercenaries league.
What are we talking about?
It is a cutthroat, bloodthirst league where there's a hard salary cap and you can't go over it. And before you go and give ridiculous money to people, you need to think long and hard whether or not that guy really is going to live up to the nickels of that contract. Micah Parsons is one of the 5 best edge rushers in the league. He is not the first. I'm not even sure he's top 3. Bosa, Garrett Wilson, Garrett Williams, Garrett. It's the Aggie, plays for the Browns. Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett, Bosa, TJ Watt. I mean, these guys are all at least as good, if not better, than Micah Parsons. And if they're going to give Micah Parsons some break the salary cap contract, make his ass earn it, I don't think he has yet. I need you to have an all-pro season. I need the Cowboys to win multiple playoff games, and you have impacts in those playoff games. That's what I want. All right, let's get to the Bagtastic Challenge. It is that time again. It's when we load it up and we figure out who the D-Bag of the year is, according to Thunderdome here on Mike Taylor Live. Whether you are a smart douche, maybe you're an idiot douche, we just want to find out who the douche of the year is. Like Rolling Stone, we have our own countdown. Who are the biggest D-Bags of 2023? There are lots of versions of D-Bags. You could be a smart guy. You may not know your own ass from last Tuesday. A D-Bag is a D-Bag, and you know it when you see it. And we roll on today, and we have a woman involved again today, as we have the over-the-top genial Brittany Mahomes, Beast Texan Brittany Mahomes. She is up. It's round 2 today. She has a very formidable job as she takes on the hedonist James Harden. So it's been posted on Twitter, i.e. X. So get on there and vote. You can find me on Twitter at Mike Taylor Show. It is James Harden versus Brittany Mahomes. I said this the other day. Brittany Mahomes is an ass whip, but a D-bag, yeah, sure. But there ain't no way she is as big of a douche as James Harden. Harden's one of these D-bags who leaves victims in his D-bag wake. She just up there cheering on her man, wanting to get on TV. And she's actually been drowned out a lot by Taylor Swift now that Taylor's in that booth every week with her. I know that her screams are, again, she's a massive ass whip. But she has not left the trail of blood that Jimmy Harden has in his life. Give me Harden if I were voting. I don't vote, but if I were, I'd vote for Harden. Don't you agree? Harden, bigger douche?
Yeah,
it's
I
tough.
would say so. And there's also history there with the Spurs and all that. So.
Sure. We're getting into it's the Elite Eight. These are elite D-bags, but Harden takes the cake. Harden
did get a set of new chompers, by the way.
Yeah, he got rid of those nasty yellow rat teeth.
Yeah, he looked like he was from like London or something.
He had vampire teeth.
They were like real like Nosferatu or something. But now, yeah, he's got shiny white, perfectly shaped chompers. Now.
Well, that goddamn beard. You imagine trying to dig in his mouth, that beard everywhere. Gross.
Got to be tough to maintain
It's
something
gross.
like that.
It's awful looking. Everything about him's a pain in the ass. God, he's a douche. Harley's in here. Peso Pluma song sucks. I don't plan to listen to it.
Peso Pluma, what is that? Penny feather?
What's Pluma?
Feather?
Oh.
I think that's feather.
Pluma?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey Siri. What does pluma mean in Spanish?
In Spanish, pluma is.
Pluma. What does pluma mean?
I got nothing. Fail.
She don't know. Hey Siri. What does pluma mean in Spanish?
In Spanish, pluma is.
Oh, shut up. She's an
Let
idiot.
me just ask Thunderdome.
Stupid
They'll be
bitch.
quicker.
I know. Hey, you Mexicans, what's pluma? Pluma. Pin?
Oh, yeah. I think it means feather, but it can also mean pen. But I
pen?
think back, like, because a feather was a pen.
A dollar feather? Okay.
Dollar feather.
Mike Check A's in here. I guess Robbie Gould likes to rear end everybody. Yeah. My mom and my dad. Over Robbie Gould. All right, show brought to you in part by Texas Cheer Liquor.
Yo, when I need beer, I go to Texas Cheer. But I don't always drink beer. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a little liquor. Still go to Texas Cheer. Sometimes, though, I'm in the mood for champagne or maybe a little bit of wine, and I still go to Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of Thunderdome. Texas Cheer Liquor. They got 9 locations all over San Antonio, Texas, so no matter where you live in the city, there's going to be one near you. Thunderdome's liquor store is Texas Cheer Liquor.
Ah, look at that. Walking and talking like a badass in the middle of Texas Cheer Liquor. That's which location was that? That's the one over by
Culebra.
Culebra. That means snake. Culebra. It's Spanish class today with Taylor. That's where we did that one. And yeah, there's 9 in the area, so it doesn't matter where you live. There's going to be one within striking distance of you. So if you need some booze for the holidays, for whatever reason it might be, whether you're happy, sad, you got to take something to a party or whatever, it is Texas Cheer Liquor. Shout out to longtime Thunderdomer Dale, the official community golf pro of Thunderdome. My boy Dale. So Dale owns a company, and he wanted to give something to his employees and his clients. Homeboy came out there and bought 3 cases of Crown Royal at Texas Cheer this week. Made me look good, spending all that kind of money. Because he only did it, and he did it because he likes Texas Cheer, obviously. But he really wanted to go to the store that I'm at, the one over on Evans and Boulevardy. And so Big Dale showed up the other night and bought 36 bottles of Crown Royal. So shout out to Dale. Love you hard. Yeah, it's feather.
We were right on all of it.
It's feather,
It's feather,
and pen.
it's
It can mean
pen,
mauve.
but then it can also mean featherweight. Peso Pluma means featherweight.
Oh, because peso's only like a penny. It's something
Yeah,
small.
yeah, I guess so,
Peso
yeah.
Pluma, featherweight. He must be a little skinny dude with
Like a jockey.
150 million subscribers on his YouTube page. All right, have you ever had an appendectomy? Yeah, you still have your appendix?
Ectomy? What? No.
Appendectomy.
Oh, that's what that talk show host is out for, right? Colbert or someone?
Oh, did Colbert have an appendectomy?
Somebody did. Yeah.
Oh. Well, the Cowboys coach had one yesterday, Mike McCarthy. I think you're right. Stephen Colbert did have an appendectomy. Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys coach, missed practice yesterday because he had an appendicitis this week. What is today? Thursday? So I think Monday, Mike showed up at work and his stomach was killing him. And the Cowboys training staff is like, dude, we need to get you checked out.
Yeah, 2 days ago, Colbert's appendix blew up.
Damn. And so did Mike McCarthy's. Huh. Do they run in threes? Who's next? So Colbert's not doing his show, obviously. McCarthy was not in practice, obviously. However, this is a big game Sunday night. McCarthy, they're saying that he is vowing to be on the sideline. Let me say this about Mike McCarthy. That dude should be considered coach of the year, should he not? He'll never win it because the Cowboys always have stupid expectations. Based on, he took over the play calling this year, and a lot of y'all think Dak Prescott should be the MVP of the season. A lot of y'all are the same people that have slammed Dak for 3 years in a row. Now a lot of y'all are calling for Dak as MVP of the NFC or whatever. What changed?
Dak Prescott sucks.
Mike McCarthy's calling the plays now and working more directly with Dak Prescott. Mike McCarthy's a swing king. Mike McCarthy, I don't think gets nearly enough praise as he should as a head coach because it went south for him in Green Bay. He won the title. Aaron Rodgers hasn't won shit without Mike McCarthy. Just saying. Now, Mike McCarthy hadn't won shit without Aaron Rodgers, but he's got Dak Prescott playing like an MVP, at least in early December. So get better coach. In the event that he can't go Sunday night, I'm assuming that Schotty will be the head coach Sunday night. Brian Schottenheimer, because Schottenheimer knows all the plays, and he'll call plays for he and Dak will kind of just probably partner up on play calling for Sunday night with the Eagles in town. But you can bet your ass McCarthy does not want to be missing this game. It is a huge game. It means a ton. The Cowboys are either going to win the game, move into a tie for first with the Eagles, or they're going to lose the game and go to 2 games behind Philly and 0-2 head up against the Eagles and really have no chance to win the division. So you're chasing a wild card spot at this point. It's a big game. They're going to make the playoffs. But in what form are they going to make the playoffs? A lot rides on this game Sunday night. McCarthy, he would be out there on a rascal, scooting around if he had to. He's going to coach this game, I'm sure. So obviously you've never had an appendicitis. I haven't either.
No.
You ever had a surgery of any kind?
No.
Never. No one's ever sliced you open.
No.
Dang, dude.
And I hope it never happens.
Now, I've had oral surgery. I don't know if I guess that counts. I was out.
Yeah, that counts. Yeah.
All right, so I've had 2 surgeries. I've had oral surgery on my mouth because they had to go in there and dig a bunch of stuff out of my gums, and they had to put bovine bone in the back. Remember I told you that story?
Yeah,
I've got cow bone back in the back. But when I was 9, I got kicked in the balls by some little girl in my neighborhood, and she gave me a hernia.
Okay.
And I had to go have hernia surgery. Have you heard this one?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
We were living in Fullerton, California in SoCal. And I don't even know what triggered it, but
California.
I was probably in the 4th grade, and she was like in the 7th. She was a big old tall girl, way bigger than me. And she was even starting to sprout a little bit. You know, she was way older than me. I don't know why, but she got mad at me, and God knows what my little dumb ass said. Probably something stupid and offensive or derogatory, or God knows what I said. But I didn't deserve what happened to me. Dude, she runs up to me like she's the Cowboys punter and just hauls off in perfect form and just kicks me, boom, right in the balls. And I dropped to my knees, pop. I felt like an erector set, douche, 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 straight on my side. And then, like, I had my knees all squished up on my chest. Like, oh, I lost my breath. You know, she kicked me right in the balls as hard as she could. And I'm laying there, just trying to come to. And she didn't leave. She just was still right there, like 10 feet away, hanging out, laughing, cussing me and shit. So I catch my breath. Sit up so I sit up. My buddies are like, "You're all right, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, give me a second," you know. And so it was a good 5 minutes. So you know the scene on Christmas Story where Ralphie has had enough of the redhead bully?
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
And just beats the shit out of the redhead bully? Same scene.
You beat up that chick.
I run over this little girl, and I grab her. She had long hair. I grabbed her she had her back to me. Both hands, she was a foot taller than me. Both hands I reach up, grab the back of her hair, yank her to the ground. I sit on top of her, and I am just waylaying her ass. Waylaying. Just pow, just left, right, just annihilating her. So yes, I beat the shit out of a girl one time. The only time. And she had it coming. And I was hurt, dude. And the next day I woke up with an inflamed nutsack. My mom takes me to the emergency room. My right testicle had gone, it left my sack. She kicked me so hard. It went up. Like
You're lucky you didn't have a Ginobili situation.
I know. I am very lucky. They surgically moved my right nut. My right nut had to be moved back down into place.
Is that why the left one hangs lower?
Yes. How did you know that? Have I told you that?
No, it's just physics.
Okay. Yes, I had a detached testicle at 9 years old that had to be surgically put back down there. They had to open up my stomach, go in there, and move the ball down in the sack. Yeah.
So those are your 2 surgeries?
Yeah, oral surgery and nut surgery.
What about when you had your snip?
Oh, well. Oh yeah, I try to block that out. That hurt.
That counts.
I know. That hurt.
That's 3 times.
That's why my penis works so good, I think, because it's been operated on. It's like I think they gave me steroids both times. I got steroids when I
You think
first surgery.
your penis picked up some kind of superpower in the operation?
I think so. That's why I have all these kids. That's why I wanted to get a snip.
Yeah, maybe they snipped out the.
If I bump you on accident in the hallway, you may get pregnant by me. I have superpowers.
And judging by the history, it'll be be twins or something.
I can't believe you've gone this far in your life with never having a surgery. Nothing.
I hate the doctor. I probably have so many things wrong with me, and I probably need surgery. My knee and my shoulder and my hip probably need some surgery.
Well, yeah, you've got wear and tear. I had trauma. You've had wear and tear. Years holding cameras on your shoulder and shit. But don't be getting diet on me. At least give me 4 or 5 years till the show.
I'm trying to work that out of my career now.
Wait till our show blows up, and then you can retire. Mike says, I saw your boy Jamie Shaw made a $5,000 donation to the News 4 Red Kettle. Well, I can't help that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it all goes to the same family. I'm no longer in I don't even consider it a competition this year. I'm doing what I can. I've joined forces with the Red Kettle podcast. Whatever we get, I'm happy with it. Although I would love y'all to put as much as you can. I don't have that competitive juice that I had. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know, the bit's running its course. Whatever I can do to help the Salvation Army without
there's no way you can compete. That's what it is.
With Channel 4?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they
got a massive reach.
Well, that's great. That's okay. Again, that's okay.
You got to do what you can. It's not about winning. It's about getting as many donations as possible.
Right. Yeah. I'm UTSA here, and, that's Clemson. What can I do? I can't help that. All right, well, let's end with some Spurs talk. I brought this up a second ago. Jeremy Sohan.
Spurs.
I think Greg Popovich finally admitted that he's been wrong. Everybody knows he's been wrong. Now, we'll see if he sticks with the starting 5 that he rolled out there last night. Last night, the Spurs, desperate for something different, the Spurs being Greg Popovich, decided to bench Jeremy Sohan and have him come off the bench. After 5 games coming off the bench, he wised up and put Devin Vassell back in the starting lineup. They keep saying that the reason why Devin Vassell hasn't been starting is because he tweaked his groin a few weeks ago, and they just wanted to really ease him back. That's fine. I believe him. So now that Devin Vassell is starting, as long as he's healthy, his ass needs to stay in the starting lineup. And I got to say, I loved the decision to start that Turkish kid, Cedi Osman. He started last night. He is an energetic, crazy man out there, and he's good, and he's smart, and he has a ceiling. I'm not saying he's going to go to the All-Star game. They're not going to win a bunch of games because Cedi Osman is starting. But what they've been doing has not been working. It ain't working. They're terrible, and they're not going to get any better on defense. This is the Spurs that right now, this is, unless they trade for somebody, this is who they're going to be. Victor Wembanyama will continue to develop and get better. Nobody else will. The team's not going to win a bunch of games. I was wrong. They last night played hard. They hung tough for 3 quarters with Minnesota, the best team in the West by record right now. And then what happens in the 4th? The Timberwolves are like, oh, okay, cool. All right, there's 3 quarters. Cool, we paid the light bill. Sweet. Cool, we played some music. Fans have settled in. 4th quarter, cool. And just laid it to the Spurs and beat their ass. So the Spurs hang tough, and then what happens in winning time? They get run off the floor because it's just a bad scene. Right now, they've lost 15 games in a row. God almighty. They're 3-17. They are lower than a crippled cricket's ass at this point. And Wemby struggled last night, but it wasn't that the team fought hard. They were competitive. Pop praised their competitiveness. That's where we are now with the Spurs, where the coach praises the competitiveness. Psh, The fuck is
Get
that?
the fuck out of here, man. It's my night.
That should never. You know who gets praised for being? Well, they played hard. You know who gets praised for that? Shitty teams. You think the Chicago Bulls of the '90s? Oh, we played hard tonight.
Both teams play hard.
That Michael fucking Jordan. You don't play hard for 1 second, Mike's going to eat your ass out, so to speak, in a negative way, not in the fun way, the negative way. You know, you think Tim Duncan ever got praised? Go, Tim played hard tonight. Nobody ever said that about Timmy or Manu or Tony Parker. Nobody ever said that about Steven Jackson. Oh, they played real. They were competitive tonight, and they brought it all 4 quarters. Okay. Sweet, that's where we are now. They're so shitty that we're handing out red ribbons because we played hard. Good. This team sucks. They're not soft. They're just not any good. I was so wrong about this team. I thought the Spurs were onto something. I thought they were going to go win 35 games. I thought they were going to show obvious improvement. I thought that the guys that they've had for a couple of years would mesh with Wemby by now, and they would be, not winning every night, but winning every other night. They are horrible. This team sucks. I was wrong. And the thing that hacks me off the most is, I read in the paper today where now Jeremy Sohan, the kid from Baylor, is having confidence issues. Well, no shit. You screwed his head up. He's been out of position from day one. He's frustrated, and now he's coming off the bench last night. They're going to ruin Jeremy Sohan, they being Greg Popovich. And this is obvious. None of us thought this was going to work. This is the reason I thought Trey Jones was going to be the starter at point guard. Why hasn't Trey Jones been the starter all season? LG says I jinxed Trey Jones because I interviewed him, and that's not true. The only reason I talked to Trey Jones, and he's a good kid, had a good conversation with him at Media Day. The only reason I talked to Trey Jones is because that's the only guy the Spurs would let me talk to.
They didn't trust you with anyone else.
No, I don't. Well, that's on them. I didn't jinx him. I was giving him. I didn't even request Trey Jones. The Spurs said, give us 4 names for Media Day, and I gave him 4 names and got declined all 4 times. Okay. So they threw me Trey Jones as scraps. Funny, but my boy Trey should have been the starter from day one. I bet you their record is a little bit better than maybe they're 5-15. I don't know. But it's not good with Jeremy Sohan. And it's not going to get any better. Jeremy Sohan needs to be playing swing guard and 2 guard and defending. Do what he does best. You've taken him out of his comfort zone. You've tried to turn him into a point guard. He can't handle it. He's not good enough. His skill set it's not a point guard skill set. He's a damn good young player. He's out of position. This team needs to bring in another point guard to platoon with Trey Jones and stick Jeremy Sohan back doing what he does best.
At least keep Jetty out there because he looked a lot more comfortable
100%
running
agree.
that team.
I mean, and they still lost, but so what? What they've been doing, we know that's not working, and it's not going to work. It's not going to get better. I agree. Run Jetty out there every night. Run him out there more. They've had Wemby on a minutes restriction. That's fine. They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to be horrible all year, but you have got to, as an organization, figure out a way to at least make this thing start to progress. Whether they win 20 games or not. At the end of the season, which it's damn near to the point where it's a lost season, at least let's get to the end of the season and feel like, oh, they have improved. But the current rotation before last night anyway, that's not ever going, I don't believe that's ever going to progress into anything. So it's time to change. And Pop did last night, and hopefully he stays the same. This thing is bad, and the coach has not helped. That's it. We're done. Thank you. All right, if you have not voted yet for Bagtastic, get your booty in there and vote. It is Brittany Mahomes versus James Harden. I'm going to head to the Super Walmart. I'm going to be there at 12:30 to 2:30. Me and Ernie Zuniga with our red kettle. Come out there and put some money in the deal. Love you hard. Thank you to
3
DJ
Cents
LG.
Podcast coming up at 1 p.m.
And then there's 3 cents. We'll air at 1. How are we going to be out there at 12:30 if our show's at 1, LG?
It's radio magic.
It's magic. It's just magic. Don't ask questions. Just roll with the flow. All right, that's it. We're done. Love y'all hard. See you tomorrow. Or Monday. That's it on this show. I forgot.
Come back, you puppy!
Mike Taylor Live is presented by Texas Cheer Liquor.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
This is a Bronx bound